gondoltuk, hogy először egy kis magyart. Tomival kötelező az első 10 perc magyarul beszélni, szóval tudják.
10 perc?
Ja, és azt gondoltam, hogy talán egy magyar népdalt tudunk énekelni együtt. Szóval, nem? A jó lovas katonának de jól megyen gyordja.
How about if Cammie does the interview?
One is, what was your point of entry or first city of stay upon arriving in Hungary? Why did you choose that location?
Okay, well, I arrived in Budapest. We flew, and Budapest is the only city that has an airport, so there was really no choice.
Yeah.
We came to Budapest because that's where our family and relatives lived, and that's where my husband had a job.
Okay.
Question 2 is, what factors led you to choose Hungary as a new home?
We came here in 2000 because my husband got a long-term project here in Budapest, and we had 2 babies. And I was in Washington, and I wasn't working at the time, so it was easy for me to switch countries. I didn't have to leave a job or anything. And he got the job in Hungary because he also speaks Hungarian. And for me, it wasn't such a big change either because I spoke Hungarian also, and I had been to Hungary before, so it wasn't a completely foreign country.
Yeah, that perfectly leads you to the next question, which was being fluent in Hungarian when you moved helpful to adapt to the Hungarian way of life?
Yes, it's extremely helpful because knowing the language makes it much easier to understand what's going on and to fit in to a certain extent, and to read the signs and to ask for things at the store and figure out what people are talking about on the street, all this kind of thing. So we're in terms of fitting in, knowing the language is really hugely important.
When you first moved, how were you viewed as an American migrant or a natural-born Hungarian?
Definitely not a natural-born Hungarian. They can figure out after about 3 sentences that I'm not a natural-born Hungarian. And so even after 15 years, I'm not a natural-born Hungarian, or they don't consider me that, and I don't consider myself that either, and it's just fine.
All right, and the final question is, what difficulties, if any, did you encounter once you moved to Hungary?
Oh, well, it's always hard to move to a new country because you have to learn everything new. It's like if you were to, move to New York or something, even if it's the same country, you'd have to start over with everything. You'd have to find where things are located and meet new people and find out where the stores are and figure out, how things work in a new situation. And in a new country, you have to do all that, plus you have to do it all in a different language, and most everything is strange. The language, I spoke the language, but understanding like people in the stores, or more complicated things like the guy who fixed the car, he would stand there and explain to me what's wrong with the car, and I would not understand what he's saying because it was so fast and it was not a vocabulary that I knew. But it wasn't that difficult because most people were kind of surprised that I speak Hungarian, but I'm not Hungarian. But they were mostly very friendly, so it was fine.
That's good.
Who also have little kids, so it's easier if you have a family.
And just another follow-up question, are the cars similar to the ones in America?
The cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly. People drive, Japanese cars for the most part. Hondas and little Korean cars. There are some American cars also. I think there are fairly few electric cars. I think there's electric cars now in the States, but they don't really have them here. Also, people mostly drive stick shift.
Oh,
is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah, stick shift is very big here.
I don't know how to drive.
Almost everybody drives a stick shift. I don't know anybody who has an automatic car.
Oh, that's cool. That's different.
You want to drive a stick shift too?
No, I do not. All right, well, thank you very much. That was really interesting. I hope everybody in my class enjoys.
Okay, wait. Can I just ask you something too? What's the project exactly?
Well, you have to interview a migrant, somebody who moved from one country to another. It doesn't have to be like from the U.S. or to the U.S. And so you just have to like ask them questions kind of about their journey and how they adapted to the new place.
I see. Okay.